This is Myanmar, which is also known as Burma. Myanmar is a sovereign state in Southeast Asia bordered by Bangladesh, India, China, Laos, and Thailand. It is known for being involved in one of the world's longest ongoing civil wars between the government forces and ethnic militias. Its low level of development and its corrupt military government, Myanmar faces many obstacles towards development. Burma was the most powerful monarchy in Southeast Asia in the 18th century and the richest country in Southeast Asia under British colonial rule until 1948. The country attempted to have general elections but failed, and dictators took over, promoting the Burmese way to socialism that resulted in Myanmar's isolation from the world, inhibiting development. In 1988, nationwide protests against the corrupt military government resulted in multiple casualties. In 1990, the first general election was held. Aung San Suu Kyi won, but the military refused to relinquish power, so they put her under house arrest and has spent more than 15 years imprisoned.
Myanmar's healthcare system is seriously lacking. The average life expectancy for a person living there is only 66 years. Myanmar has a high infant mortality rate of 44 deaths per 1,000 births, a low hospital density of 0.6 beds per 1,000 people, and a low physician density of 0.61 physicians per 1,000 people. The country also has a very high risk of infectious diseases, and only 1.8% of its GDP is spent on healthcare. While education in Myanmar is usually free, many families can't afford the other school expenses like textbooks and supplies. Also, many families rely on the income from their children's labor as well. Access to quality education is particularly difficult for children in conflict areas and for those displaced as a result of conflict, natural disaster, or economic migration.
Deforestation is an additional concern for Myanmar. Illegal logging and removal of trees has reduced the forest cover and decreased the potential for the atmosphere to absorb greenhouse gases. Myanmar also has a very inadequate supply of clean, sanitized water that can potentially lead to diseases. Citizens of Myanmar primarily get their water from rainwater collection systems and communal ponds. Historically and currently, the primary method for rendering arable land is the slash and burn method. Myanmar has a tropical climate perfect for growing rice. Rice is the most important agricultural commodity of Myanmar. This sector is responsible for much of the income and employment in the country. Climate change has also affected the country, causing sea level rise, saltwater intrusion, droughts, and loss of land resources. Myanmar has also been experiencing weird weather patterns and severe cyclones such as Nargis in 2008. Myanmar is currently the world's second largest producer of illicit opium. Because so many farmers don't have another option besides going into drug production, most of the money they make is used to sustain the livelihood of farmers. Also, the control policies have weak enforcement to repress and criminalize opium farmers, increasing opium cultivation. From 1962 to 2011, the country was ruled by a military that suppressed key industries, restricting Myanmar's economy to flourish, causing it to be one of the poorest countries in Asia. Myanmar has also seen countless dictators that have ruthlessly ran the country. Myanmar citizens are also subject for human trafficking. Adults and children are migrated for cheap labor and are usually forced to work in undesired industries. The Naf River on the border of Bangladesh serves as a primary smuggling and illegal transportation route. Ethnic groups have been using this river in an attempt to flee the discrimination in Myanmar's government.
As for infrastructure, the country has an average-sized road system and a very large system of waterways. According to the CIA World Factbook, Burma's telephone system meets minimum requirements for local and inter-city service for business and government, but domestically has a system barely capable of providing basic service, and the mobile cellular phone system is grossly underdeveloped. Some of Myanmar's strengths that could be utilized for its development are its extensive waterways fit for transport, its coastline that could be used for trade centers and ports, its potential to be the next big tourist attraction with its beautiful untouched landscapes and many Buddhist landmarks, its capability for manufacturing given its location near the four Asian dragons and its large labor force to provide cheap labor, and its large fields for other agricultural uses besides opium production such as rice and possibly more trees for illegal lumber business.
Our plan for development: help establish a democratic government, provide funding to government to crack down on illegal behaviors, create special economic zones to encourage manufacturing companies to locate in Myanmar, and to work to advise Myanmar as a tourist attraction with its Buddhist landmarks and untouched beaches. As for Myanmar's corrupt government, they have currently formed a plan that involves their new constitution that was recently written in 2008 and will go into effect in 2016.
With the illegal production of the drug opium, the human trafficking, and the illegal logging and deforestation, Myanmar has been hurting its farmers, its people, and its environment. Funding the government to crack down on these behaviors would give Myanmar the opportunity to engage in more sustainable agricultural practices beneficial to its people and environment, as well as keep its inhabitants safe and able to be productive. As mentioned before, Myanmar has a large labor force and is in a perfect location for manufacturing. Creating special economic zones would further heighten the appeal for foreign investment and help bring income and development to Myanmar. With the rise of Buddhism in the West, Myanmar should advertise its many Buddhist landmarks as must-sees for tourists. Myanmar also has many beautiful untouched landscapes and gorgeous beaches it could use to attract tourists. An increase of tourism would boost the economy as well as promote development in areas tourists would visit.
Using your investment, we will be able to accomplish our goals to better this unfortunate state and be able to propel Myanmar towards development.